American and Taiwanese businesses want stronger economic, political, and defense ties between Taiwan and the United States. That's according to a new white paper from the American Chamber of Commerce in Taiwan, which represents several of those companies. They're calling for a reduction in U.S. tariffs on Taiwan and the elimination of double taxation in the two countries. They're also calling for bolstered defense support for Taiwan in the face of what they call Chinese military expansion. And they want more cabinet-level U.S. officials to visit Taiwan, as well as support for Taiwan's participation in international organizations. This is the first white paper released under the new AmCham president, Carl Wegner. I spoke with him about some of the Chamber's new priorities. So the Chamber has called for a reduction in tariffs on Taiwanese products. How do you think that U.S. tariffs on Taiwanese products harm American interests?
I think our position on the white paper is not directly on that. It's a position per industry, right? We have 500 companies, 25 committees, and they've all come with slightly different comments on what could be doing to help their industry. Tariffs in general are one way of negotiating between countries. I think from the AmCham point of view, Taiwan should be seen as not an adversarial relationship and should be as an ally. And as we see these tariff discussions continue, we hope that we see them making progress, but they come out with a good solution that continues to support the continued business between Taiwan and the U.S., continued investment of Taiwan into the U.S.
So just to be clear, the Chamber would like to see an end to the tariffs on Taiwanese products?
I think we want to see, we'd like to see that a reduction, obviously, and to a fair point where both sides can agree to continue to collaborate and invest in each other.
Also in the defense portion, as part of bolstering Taiwan's defense, the Chamber calls for Taiwanese companies to be integrated into the U.S. defense supply chain. So do you think that Taiwanese and U.S. businesses have a role to play in deterrence?
In terms of building materials, in terms of building services and products that build deterrence, absolutely. I think that Taiwan has proved for decades Taiwan inside is the OEM side of things is there, and now that the U.S. is looking toward a non-red supply chain, I think Taiwan has a tremendous opportunity to facilitate that, to provide some of those goods, to make sure that fulfilling that goal of non-red and building more relationships and business between Taiwanese and American companies.
The white paper calls for more cabinet-level visits from U.S. officials to Taiwan. Is there any ceiling to the kinds of officials you'd like to see in Taiwan? Would the Chamber support, for example, a visit from the U.S. Secretary of State?
It's not up to us to decide. I think that the more higher-level visits that come, the better. Right? I think it shows a commitment to Taiwan, communication to Taiwan. And having those type of bilateral visits used to be a common thing, right? They stopped because of other issues, right? So we're just trying to restore them. We're not trying to change anything. Or from our opinion, we're not encouraging any change. We're just bringing it back to the norm.
With a new president at the helm, AmCham says it's focused on improving U.S. Taiwan relations and making sure the voices of its member companies are heard. Brian Wu, IT, and Chris Gorin in Taipei for TaiwanPlus.